All right, welcome everybody. This is the CBSI Hot Ten Show, December 6th, 2019. We have four people tonight. We are rolling tonight. I feel it. So I'm Dino. The man with stash is back as usual. We have John Z here. We got Brian
Guys.
McClay. We got Brian McClay working the boards behind us, and then we got the creator of the list, the ultimate Ben S. So. We're going to promote a little bit for the show. So we are doing the over the top variant or over the ropes variant. So it's a variant for CBSI. It's printed 125. I ordered one because I'm a big wrestling fan. I think it's super dope. $1 goes to charity, and this is the book I think we're giving away tonight, right, boys?
Yes, sir.
Did you say over the top like Stallone wrestling over the? I mean,
Dude,
arm wrestling.
You guys want to get
head, man.
If you guys want to get over the top side story, we used to get hammered and watch Over the Top and eat White Castle sliders.
That's an odd story.
It is an odd story, but I mean,
well, real quick, since you're talking about White Castle, have you heard about the White Castle in Arizona?
No.
They opened up the first White Castle out here in Scottsdale. Literally for the last 3 months. Cannot go there, and there's not a line of at least 15 cars or a line of people out the door. They're sold out. They sell out of White Castle, man.
Popeyes right now, even still the chicken sandwiches, there's lines still at the Popeyes down the corner, like 15,
and they're terrible,
15 deep. Yep, and dude, they got
So
chicken.
this book is going to sell as fast as those places are, is what you're telling us?
Yeah. And then Chick-fil-A, same thing. They're opening up like 3 Chick-fil-A's, and there's only Chick-fil-A where I used to go to college at. That's like down around the corner a little bit, and they're gonna open up like 3 or 4. That's gonna be packed for like 25 months. It's gonna be crazy.
Ooh boy.
So, boys, I guess enough with the chit chat. We're gonna rock these books. I'm excited for this. So,
all right. Well, I'll lead it off with the honorable mention. Ben always picks a Golden Age book. Sorry, the list on the site has a incorrect picture. So this is the book we're talking about. Frontier Romance is number 1. This was a Sodi book, which is unusual for a Western romance, but it does have a bit of a risque cover, as Ben pointed out.
And look at what it says there. I mean, it's like an Archie. She learned to ride and shoot. It just sounds suggestive to me.
It's a little risque. As you said, there's a spanking panel, which that's probably what ultimately pushed it over the line, because there's a lot of romances that are a little risque. But yeah, selling at double what the same grade did last year, that's pretty impressive for an obscure title like this. That's not one of the big boy books. So 1,300 for a 7.5 is nothing to joke at.
Z, would you consider this would this be a romance or a Western, or just a kind of, mashup between the two?
It's probably more collected by romance collectors. Western is its own thing. Generally, most of the Westerns I see getting hot are kind of crossover covers like this. There's a couple titles like this. So, yeah, they're generally more romance than true Western.
and there's only 2 in this whole run. So everybody knows there's only 2. Yeah. So
that's not very many.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's November. It honestly is just November, December, and the second issue isn't. I mean, it's okay looking. I mean, the first one's obviously way better.
Yeah, it's got a nice little, red top, so it's similar to red dress, all that good stuff. So, hey, keep your eye out when you're digging in the Western bins, right, Ben?
Oh, hey, you never know what you're going to find there.
Exactly. Moving on to the second honorable mention, which we seem to have some trouble on the site as far as pictures for these two. On the screen now is the actual Doctor Who Classics number 2. Why is it a hot book, Ben? What's got this one peaked?
So it's got the first preview of Lock and Key, which I believe they showed the poster for the show this week. I believe is what happened this week. I think some people may have forgot that it was actually coming out. And I think it's set to debut in January, February. Does anybody know for sure?
Not off the top of my head. Is this one that's been widely talked about? I just don't remember ever hearing about it.
I believe this was brought up by Topher on his True Firsts,
It's
Recently?
it's February 7th.
February 7th.
I try to remember a lot of previews. This one just escapes me.
Yeah, there's probably not very many Doctor Who books that anybody is really looking for, but yeah, Topher brought this one up.
Yeah,
Well,
Dino and the hat covers.
Yeah, Dina's just looking for hat covers.
Well, there is some cool Doctor Who books, early Doctor Who books that these classics might reprint that are some of the first Alan Moore comic work. So,
okay. But yeah, apparently this one's picking up speed just because of this Lock and Key preview. I don't know about these previews. I even still question DC Presents, as a preview as being a first or anything. I don't. It confuses me, and I know there is a market though for it, even if it's a niche market. But
hey, the Walking Dead previews still make a little bit of money, so it has a market. It's never going to be probably the big as the main, but it's a nice little subgenre.
some of those Lock and Key, the regular printed books, I know they weren't very many printed of those, especially like the second and third issues, right? They're kind of short printed.
Yeah, they're tough to find. I mean, I love the book. I'm actually really looking forward to the show. But make sure if you do go for that number one, make sure you get the first print, and because it's not stated on the cover. I think the only difference is in the light bulb. I think there's something like a red mark or something that's the only indication on the cover of a second print. So otherwise you have to open up the book to see second print noted in the on the front cover or inside front cover. But
good to know. All right, jumping into the actual Hot 10, and number 10 is a repeat book. Been on here several weeks. It is slowly sliding down as its gains are slowing down on it, but it's the Secret Wars 2099 number 1, the Ron Lim 1 in 25. Seeing some some sales up from 75 to pushing 100. Also seeing some sales on the A cover, so just one to keep watching, I guess. It's not dying fast.
No, I think the and who knows what Marvel's or stating when they say there will be a female Captain America. You don't really know. You don't know. I mean, this one's in the future, so you don't really know if they're going to somehow use this character. But they have definitively said that this is the first female Captain America in comics. So I guess that's why people are thinking that it, this Roberta. Then her name's escaped. Roberta Mendez. If she's going to be, used, this is good. I mean, it could be. As granted, this is probably an overprinted book, which is probably why the price has slowed its increase down. But I mean, it's still. $100 book is $100 book for something that just a few weeks ago was $5. So, but I'm sure some of these are some of the bigger retailers have probably still had these in stock as of a few weeks ago. So they're probably cleaned out at this point, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, number 9 is Deadpool Max number 5. Some more potential female spec going on with the first female Taskmaster. Lots of rumors as we're not seeing much in the movie preview, so everybody's just kind of wondering why are they holding back? What's the surprise going to be?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot going on this week, and when the Black Widow trailer hit, it caused pretty much all the main characters. They had some books, book spike this week, understandably, but I was looking at a bunch of message boards and stuff, and there's people that were kind of making fun of the Taskmaster suit, and doesn't look like it's supposed to, but it kind of looked female, and I don't believe that there's been any announcement as to who's actually playing Taskmaster, so nobody knows if it's which version. Is it Ultimate Taskmaster, which is what the Ultimate Spider-Man 26 or something like that. Or is it the original Taskmaster? Is it this lady Task? Who knows?
So did we see jumps in the Avengers 195 this week, or not really?
There weren't as that book kind of spiked a few months ago when the announcement that Taskmaster was going to be in the movie.
So it's not really jumped significantly.
Yeah, I mean it's not as much as this book did. This basically was, kind of like a $5 to $10 book, and there's not a whole lot of sales, but the sales that were there were going up, and then all new listings were even higher than the highest last sales. So
it's definitely a book you could probably find out in the wild still. So if you're going out today, tomorrow, go get at it.
Yeah, I would tend to think so.
All right, number 8, got a Dark Horse book. Don't see a lot of Dark Horse hitting the list most of the time. Kill Whitey Donovan, number 1. As you kind of pointed out, it's been reported as option, but Dark Horse is kind of got the exclusive agreement with the Prime?
With Netflix.
Netflix, sorry. And so technically everything is optioned. But,
this one saw some buzz this week. I didn't even make it to the stores or anything like that this week, so I don't really know. Did anybody pick this up?
I did not, but Dark Horse is it's got to be a hell of a title for me to really want to grow into it. So
yeah,
but $10 to $15 is not a bad little deal.
No, and I don't know. I mean, I think if you're buying Dark Horse books because of Netflix, I would look more at some of the older titles. I would look at like Breath of Bones, something like that has a who knows? I mean, they may end up making a show out of this, but it doesn't. I mean, it just basically it came out this week, so it doesn't really have any. Nobody knows if it's any good. Those books from 5-10 years ago, they know if those storylines are good.
And a lot of these books that get optioned right away or right before the book comes out, kind of a la Witches, kind of get put in that development hell category. We usually don't see them.
Witches. I know the same, but gosh, I love that. I love that story. I still don't understand that one.
That was one of my first flips getting back into comics, which is I bought her for like $3 or $5 or something and sold her for like 30 or 40 or something. It was crazy.
I love that story.
All right, getting back on track. Number 7, Magnificent Miss Marvel, number 10. I'm gonna go with it, and this is a interesting twist. Her Kree suit appears to become a new entity on its own. So, new entity of a suit, $15. Not sure why that's selling so much more than the number 5, as you pointed out, which is the first appearance of the suit. So, what is important? The suit living. It's going to be a bit of a symbiote issue, I guess, huh?
It sounds like it's a repeat of the symbiote, whole type of thing. That it was from the panels and stuff that I saw on this issue. Like it was trying to make her do things that she didn't want to do, and she somehow got the suit off of her. And it sounds very, very similar to the Venom storyline. But the number 5 one is a better cover. Because it's an homage to Secret Wars, I think. And it's still just I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, would you rather have where the suit first appears or where the suit is kind of standing off it by itself?
Where the suit first appears.
Well, I mean, if we look at all the Kate spec, we always go back to the original thing, not the new thing.
Yeah,
I'm a first appearance kind of guy.
We'll see what happens. I mean, it depends if the story turns out any good or not, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure the print run on any of these Magnificent Miss Marvels is going to be low. I mean, there's Yeah, I mean, there's just not going to be a high print run on these, but I don't know. I hate to downplay Miss Marvel because I think that it seems like the storyline is at least kind of readable and it's not terrible. It's not just like it's, some random thing that they're doing, but it does seem a little too similar to the whole Venom origin for me.
We'll have to see where this one goes. A start, we'll give it a time to breathe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd jump on the hype heavy, but let's see where it goes, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this might be just one of those that you just kind of just sit on for, if you can get it for cover price, kind of just sit on it, throw in a box, forget about it, and see what happens.
Absolutely. Much like probably this book has been number 6, The Black Widow, Deadly Origins, number 2, the Granov 1 and 10. This is one that's a beautiful cover. I mean, just amazing. We also saw the preview and kind of saw her do the white suit landing, as you pointed out, and it, definitely harkens back to this one, which is, Granov at his best. So,
yeah, I'm assuming that everybody else thought the same thing. As soon as it was there, this is the. To be honest, I don't know if she's ever been in another white suit or not, but this is the one that anybody would think about immediately, and all of a sudden, sales were there. I mean, I think I remember, picking up and even getting rid of this book for, picking it up for $5, selling it for 10. Many times
forever.
Yeah. So to see it selling for $40 is kind of crazy, to be honest.
No, but at 10 it always felt a little undervalued.
I agree because it is a good cover. I mean, it's the black, actually the regular cover just doesn't even look right with this.
Even at a 1 in 10 on a Black Widow book, that's not a big run.
It's not. The Campbells and those things were like 1 in 15. So I mean, they weren't, and they're worth hundreds. So
Granov is just critically underappreciated.
Yeah, maybe. Some would say that, but
unless it's Coy, he has a pretty big fascination.
Yeah, him and John Brown. But
all right, number 5, Spider-Man and Venom Double Trouble number 2, the Momoko 1 in 25 variant. This, issue 1 saw a little bit of heat. These 1 in 25s of the kid books. I get it. I mean, it's playing the lower printed type angle, but this is not a cover I love.
No, and Peach Momoko had a book on last week. It was a totally different. It was the X-23 cover. So that was on last week's list. But yeah, I mean, it's an odd cover for sure. But
it's definitely a different rendition of a Venom, which I can appreciate, not seeing the same thing we see every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, looking at it, I mean, it took me a second to even figure out that it was just like a giant Venom, like Kingpin type thing is what I couldn't, the way the whites and stuff kind of threw me off. I couldn't really tell what I was looking at first, but yeah, I think it's kind of the same deal as that John Boy Myers, the Marvel Adventures 10, about a month, 2 months ago, something like that jumped to over $100.
Yeah. So this one's selling for $75 to $90, which is really nice for a 1 in 25 if you got in on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I just, for variant, I like to see something that I love looking at, and this is not doing it for me today.
She was at November 8th this year. She was at North Carolina Comic-Con, which is interesting.
Did you say hi?
We didn't go to that one. We went to the one in July.
Right,
so it must have been a different one. But then she's in Tokyo and Singapore, which so I thought it was weird. She was in North Carolina. I don't know if she does more U.S. shows, so it'll be interesting if her OA goes up and stuff. I mean, I see a lot of covers,
Yeah, she's popped up on the list here several times over the last 6 months, but
it's a different style. So at least I appreciate it's different. I mean, a lot of the artists we see are just trying to be the same as everyone. So it's got a flair, just maybe not my flair.
Well, there's no Western theme to it.
It's true. Now jumping to number 4 on the list, the Conan Serpent War #1 David Finch 1 in 100 variant. Moon Knight and Conan on a cover, and Finch on Moon Knight. I'm sold.
Gorgeous.
This is a gorgeous cover.
Yeah.
I cannot argue with it.
I don't know, and again, I don't really look at previews very often. I mean, I'll pick up a previews, once in a while, just if for whatever reason. So I didn't really pay attention. I didn't really, I didn't pre-order this or think. But I think if I would have seen it 3 months ago, I probably would have tried to pick this up 3 months ago. Just knowing that Finch has had some really, really good covers and then some not so good covers.
But he does Moon Knight. I can't think of any duds on the Moon Knight.
Yeah, he does well with Moon Knight.
I mean, if you think of it, Sienkiewicz and Finch really are probably the two kind of definitive I'll take that back. 3 definitive artists. But I mean, Finch has been killing it lately on Moon Knight for the past decade.
Yeah. So I can see why this one's a hit, but that's a big hit. I mean, was it two?
You said 250, 275, so that's a big jump real fast.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I honestly, the print run's got to be minuscule.
I really like his Conan too. His Conan isn't too big, too huge type Conan.
No.
I'm a real fan. Finch art just keeps getting better and better, I think. So.
Yeah, he is. This is a beautiful book. I wish I would have paid attention. That's all I'll say.
Yep, I get it.
All right, number 3, a little bit more Black Widow. I mean, that's the book of the week, or the theme of the week. This one, Inhumans #5 from the 1999 run with the first Yelena version of the Black Widow. It makes sense. Anything to do with this trailer is just going. So
yeah, and I tend to think that because Scarlett Johansson is dead, if they're going to use Black Widow in the future, they're going to have to use Yelena. So maybe we'll get your guys' thoughts on what the preview or the trailer, if you're even excited for this movie. I
think it's going to be a great movie to enjoy. I don't think it's going to be a blockbuster.
I was blown away by the trailer. I thought this movie was going to be just complete garbage, just a dumpster fire. And the trailer really surprised me. It actually looked pretty good. It looked a little funny. I know me and you, Ben, talked about that fight scene with the guns, with them switching guns. That was a great little fight scene. I think that Scarlett Johansson's getting a little long in the tooth, I think, for Black Widow. But I was really
Black Widow's a 70-year-old character at this point.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just getting kind of tired of Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. But I thought this was really good, and I thought that David Harbour as Red Guardian was great comedic, input. So I'm really looking forward to it. The only thing that I didn't like was, obviously I'm not a big fan of Scarlett Johansson anymore, but I definitely didn't like the Taskmaster, and we kind of already talked about that. But you never know; they could surprise us.
I think it's got a chance to be a great movie. Just it's not going to be a $1 billion hit. So
yeah, I guess we'll see.
Doesn't have to be. I'm going to go with that. Number 2 on the list, breaking off from the Marvel universe to the other part of the Disney universe, Star Wars. Clone Wars #1. First Ahsoka. This book has been floating in the 20-25 range, honestly, for a long time. And you saw some sales at 40 and even a high of 80. So it is it's definitely moving.
Yeah, and there's the one out of 1,000, that Dark Horse did back then, where they were sending 10 copies to 100 stores. So if you can find that one's really hard to find.
Have we seen a sale on that recently?
I did not. I don't think I saw any like super recent. I think there was a 9.6 that sold for almost 300. But I can't recall exactly when that sale was. It's a tough book. It's tough to find in high grade, to be honest, because those Dark Horse books back in that that time frame were kind of glossy, and they're not real pressable.
No.
Yeah, so and honestly,
they catch a spine tick like nothing.
Yeah, and they were Star Wars books, and they kind of just got forgot about, and they probably were sitting in back issue bins and not really taken well care of. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know if it's I don't know what news came out that would cause this thing to jump from $25 all the way up to $80. I don't know.
Could just be it's getting to be Star Wars season. I mean, we're heading close to the movie. The Mandalorian is killing it. I think it's just Star Wars on the brain.
Maybe everybody is just so upset that they can't buy anything Baby Yoda that they're just like, I'm just going to spend my money on something else.
Can I point out, this has got to be the only week you've had 2 Dark Horse books on the list?
Probably.
That Oskoa character is a really good character, and I think that we've kind of talked about her in the past on FlipSide, and it's been spec'd on a lot. But like you said, Ben, it's also the rarity on it. So
it is. I will say that this may be the first time that I will ever say that Disney dropped the ball on marketing. That if they did not realize the fervor for Baby Yoda, I mean, how they have nothing licensed out there for Baby Yoda at Christmas time is beyond me, because they would be selling out. I mean, everybody's making like 3D, things on their 3D printers, and they're changing, they're like redoing Gremlins, Gizmo and stuff to try and make it look like a Baby Yoda.
Custom.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I can't remember a character that Disney has come out with that they had nothing to sell merchandise wise.
Well, talking about toys, it kind of gives us a quick segue to talk about toyinformer.com. For you guys that don't know, there's a new webpage out there called toyinformer.com. That's kind of like a little trip down memory lane. So make sure you guys go check it out. For you guys that joined us last week, for Mike Morello, we talked about Mike being a writer on toyinformer.com. You can find a lot of familiar names over there. They do some really cool stuff. Go check it out, toyinformer.com. They've got some really cool lists over there. Got some cool stuff on a lot of the stuff from the 80s. Very cool website. And this is the type of stuff you'll find over there. So let's go.
What good is a collection you can't share? Welcome to my closet. Hope you like what you see.
And also make sure you guys go check out the new variant for Over the Ropes over at comicbookinvest.com. As Dino said earlier on, it's kind of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. It's got the Nintendo, the old school Nintendo homage, and of course the WrestleMania homage from the late 80s, early mid 80s. All of us that grew up playing Nintendo remember this game. I remember dropping leg drops on your friends. So this is this is limited to 125 copies. $12 on comicbookinvest.com. $1 from each comic sold goes to charity, and looks to be a really good story. Not very many wrestling comics out there. There's a couple of them, but this is a new one that looks like it could be good. So from Mad Cave Studios and CBSI, you get your Nintendo homage cover. Make sure you guys go check that out.
Yep.
All right, the number one book, which, as we talked about this trailer a few times, the thing that seems to stand out to everyone is the Red Guardian. I mean, it's a heck of an interesting take on the character. It was kind of just stood out to everyone. So this book has been selling as high as $150 for Raw. As you pointed out, an 8.0 sale for $350, which is double what it was, all-time high. That's some big numbers for a character that nobody really talked about prior. So that's a heck of a lot of buzz on a preview.
Yeah, and it says right there on the cover, "Here he is." I mean, how awesome is that? Here he is. Yeah, I mean, how much is he going to be in the movie? I don't know. A little bit.
I'm gonna go 5 minutes.
5 minutes, maybe.
Who knows? What I will say is he kind of had the Drax kind of feel. He doesn't need a lot of scenes to make his mark.
That could be. I mean, I could see that. Drax's appearance definitely. He could definitely steal a scene for sure. So if Harbor can do that and steal some scenes, who knows? I mean, maybe somebody will actually care about this character.
This is a character I thought was going to be a throwaway. Much like Jesus, who was it in the Captain America movie?
Crossbones.
It felt like a Crossbones to me, and I feel like they kind of threw us all for a loop and maybe did it well. Maybe did something we all will remember.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, Marvel generally knows what they're doing. I mean, they've missed a few times.
It's not Marvel knowing what we're doing. It's the spec world kind of knowing what we're doing sometimes. I mean, we all jumped on Crossbones, and it was just nothing. This could have very easily been nothing, and just 2 little scenes. Everybody's like, well, that's interesting. So,
yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for sure. I mean, paying double all-time highs that's a big jump.
Yeah, it's still not a significant buy-in for a Silver Age book. Let's be honest.
Do you think that this character could be good enough to get some more significant gains, or is it just a minor character in this movie?
Hard to say, and I think we need to know where the timeline is too. Is this character something that happened far enough back that he's not going to be relevant in the future? Is it somebody they can spin off and use again, even in bit pieces? Yeah. Who knows?
Well, I really like how David Harbour's playing it, and the whole comedic aspect of it looks really good. I'm looking forward to, that's the main thing I'm looking forward to in this movie is that character. So
is it just me, or remember when Guardians of the Galaxy was happening, they were all talking about Wonder Man. There was going to be a Wonder Man appearance with Nathan Fillion. And we all kind of thought it was going to be a bit of a goofy off character, and I think this has kind of become that.
Yeah. We'll see. So, all right, guys. This week we have this book to give away. What we're going to do this week is we're going to kind of go back to our original way of doing things. Go make a comment on this week's top 10 list at comicbookinvest.com. Just click on this week's list and you'll see the comment section below. We'll choose a comment by the end of the week for this book, and we will try and get in touch with you on those boards or some other way for this giveaway book this week. Again, this is the Over a Ropes CBSI NES homage, only printed to 125, and you can get yours if you want to buy one for $12 on comicbookinvest.com. Other than that, make sure
$1 of that goes to charity of each sale.
Yep. And make sure you guys check out Tales from the FlipSide every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. If you guys got anybody that you want us to talk about that's doing cool things creative-wise on YouTube with comics, let us know those people out there so we can reach out and maybe get them on the show. We appreciate you guys checking out the top 10 every week, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks, everybody.